Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log. Subdates 220801.2. Dainty is attempting to waddle away from us, so we're going to cook up some orange cluck crap and dangle it just below the phase cannons. As her top speed is about 1 kilometer per month, we barely have to even use impulse to keep up with her. It's quite tragic, to be honest. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to talk about the art of an apology. And I say an apology because there are many different types of an apology. YouTube has gotten quite satirical with its interpretation of the apology, because YouTube apologies follow a very specific formula, akin to that of the 5 stages of grief. It should be noted that those types of apologies, though, do actually predate YouTube. Just an apology, or an apology not apology, an unapology. One that cancels itself out, because some people in all walks of life lack the very basic idea, principle, knowledge, intellect, brain cells, IQ, to simply be able to say, I'm sorry for doing the following. I will learn from this and try to be better. Some feel that because there's something in their brain that doesn't quite function, they have to explain every facet of the apology to make sure that the person on the receiving end of that apology can truly comprehend, understand the apology that they are being given, which is remarkably condescending. It is patronizing. It is insulting. Do you believe that the person on the receiving end of the apology is so dumb that they cannot simply understand the apology for what it is? Do you believe that they have to read too much into it, so you have to explain it all, just in case any context is lost? That's arrogance, by the way. There are certain types of people with certain conditions that, yes, I can understand why you feel you have to do that. 100%. But when it comes to an apology, you have to find a coping mechanism that doesn't make you do that. Because honestly, it waters down, devalues, and ruins any potential your apology had. With YouTube apologies, they follow certain, formats. You typically have very little activity on other social media platforms. That is to make it seem like the apology is genuine because you're not active elsewhere that could undermine it. You say things like, I have sinned against my subscribers. Your background is usually your bedroom. You take the longest deep breaths ever and you have the strangest eye contact. You also have the most amazing lighting, multiple cameras. You also have to say things like, I was in a dark place. Stutter, fake cry, wear a hoodie, bonus points if the hood is up of course. Use your pet, you victim blame. Refer to themselves as that person. Perhaps even show yourself, turn the camera on, turn the comments off. Say things like, I'm sorry you were offended. I'm sorry I'm not good enough. Act like nothing happened. Donate some money out of the millions you have to charity so that you can be forgiven. Along with saying things like, I have got a lot of hate recently and it has affected my mental health. And the title usually for YouTube apologies is in lower cases. These videos are typically quite long, and within them, the words I'm sorry will be somewhere. They 100% will. But those apologies will also in turn undo everything before and after. It is a guarantee that those apologies are not apologies at all. At this point, when it comes to a YouTube apology, it is done for the sake of optics, because you could simply approach the person and say sorry, and both of you put out a statement saying we have spoken and it is dealt with. But of course, when it comes to a video, sometimes it makes it seem like you're taking responsibility. And at this point, if you still think that works, you are an absolute boomer. So Will Smith recently put out a YouTube video apologizing to Chris Rock. And that is now where I would like to go. We're not even 5 seconds in and we've already hit 2 of the markers. Bravo, sir. I would applaud, but I don't want to.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris And the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out.
While Chris Rock is not ready to talk to you with regards to what you did at the Oscars, and obviously not being able to think clearly during the Oscars to be able to apologise to him in the heat of the moment, or just after when you were then awarded Best Male Actor, Chris Rock did say something for a show at Fox Theatre Atlanta, where he had said everybody is trying to be a effing victim. If everybody claims to be a victim, then nobody will hear the real victims. Even me getting smacked by, I don't know what that word is, Smith. I went to work the next day, I got kids. Anyone who says words hurt has never been punched in the face. Oh, and before I forget, the ums were another marker. I've cut out a lot of dead air too because you're speaking as if you are somehow inhibited mentally and going extra slow. I feel like I need to up the speed of your video, much like my audience do with mine.
So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
That sounded somewhat sincere. Minus all the ums, dead air, slow speech, and 3 separate camera angles. Why do you have to have 3 camera angles for an apology, by the way? It's a bit strange. You're meant to look directly at the camera, which you do, then you have other cameras with you looking at the main camera. I don't get it. Let's see if you undo it at any point in this video. Now that's insightful.
I want to apologize to Chris's mother, and I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock.
With all the time you had between the Oscars slap to now, you would have thought perhaps you would have hired a script writer, maybe a teleprompter. With all those extra cameras, the production would have been through the roof, you would think. It's not like you're going broke, so perhaps you should have rehearsed this, or did you want it to look organic? It totally looks that way, right? I
spent the last 3 months replaying, understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment.
There were no complexities or nuances. Chris Rock was ripping on members of the audience. Your wife was one of them, aka G.I. Jane. He poked fun, made a joke, a tired joke, not even a funny joke really. And you took it so serial, you had to get up, slap him, and then tell him to keep your wife's name out of his mouth. There's no nuance there. Bitch couldn't take a joke.
And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment.
Well, I guess it's splendid then that we are all appearing to be on the same page.
There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
Question though, are you only saying this now because of the consequences your career has felt? And in before others say, but what about these actors and actresses that haven't felt consequences for their behavior? We're not talking about them, we're talking about Will. Do try to keep up.
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe.
Firstly, before you slapped Chris, you were laughing at the G.I. Jane comment. Everyone saw that. Second, how is it during this statement you sound like a hostage? Why does it sound like someone who knows if they say yes, they're gonna get beaten up? Or you're gonna have to sit there and watch your wife shag another dude?
To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me. And it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and
I'm not gonna lie, these camera angles are starting to irk me a little, because I feel like they distract from the actual point he's making. So instead I've been closing my eyes to listen to what he says. And while he's saying sorry for taking away others' moments, he took away from everyone's moment. But in retrospect, he also boosted the Oscars, because people are paying less and less attention to this little narcissist display. of attention-seeking morons, claiming rewards for doing a good job, akin to Employee of the Month. Minor difference, I guess, being that you now get to command tens of millions of dollars for a role. Someone might get a bonus for Employee of the Month if they're lucky.
What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down?
Another fine response, quite frankly. But I'll let him play the rest because I think context does matter.
So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts.
If anyone's counting, that comment, central trauma, is another marker. I like this. This is like a bingo sheet.
It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And
what an incredibly unhealthy way to live your life. But I guess when you're a narcissist and all you do is think about other people's interpretations of you because you are number one and most importantest of all, you're going to be like that, aren't you? Although, since you're quite reactionary, impulsive, volatile, you're not going to really think about that at the same time while claiming that that is what you are. Seems a bit contradictory. Actions speak louder than words after all.
The work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human and I made a mistake. I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
I feel like the Cliff's Notes need to be applied here. I'm sorry, everyone, but woe be me.
So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, you know,
I think I lost count at the number of times he said during the entire video. It was quite a lot. The looking dead at the camera, yes. The victimness, the explanations. The whole thing was almost like intentionally awkward. Good acting, I guess. Definitely worthy of an Oscar. What a sad time to be alive when I think the only thing you could do now in a suitable career move will be to educate juicy small tits as to how to apologize as well. It would give me more entertainment, and I need that in my life.